All right, hello everyone. We're talking about minimizing horse and rider injuries. Okay, so accidents and injuries happen on farms and ranches, including equipment, tools, animals, horses, riders. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. So, matching capabilities with tasks. I have a quote here from Reg Stewart from AgSafe. Says it's important to ensure a horse is capable of handling the anticipated stress and strain of a task and are not put into an uncomfortable and challenging situation they're not ready to handle either mentally or physically. All right, another quote from Reg Stewart, and then we're going to break it down, is the same is true for riders. It's critical the risk level they're prepared to take is reasonable and suits their ability. Determining and matching the right horse for the right job is important to safety in any context. So the first thing I want to talk about is he says that you don't want to put the horse in any uncomfortable or challenging situation. So that I mean these two quotes here are kind of the most safest and conservative type of quotes that you could say to someone who's trying to reduce an injury or something bad going happen. Okay, so right, yeah, if you want to minimize the risk of something going bad, you're just gonna keep things as safe as possible and not push push the horse, push yourself or whatever. But okay, so here's the thing though, is that if you always just keep the horse or the rider in the comfort zone, they'll never grow or push. So if like a horse is afraid of cows, you never expose them to cows, they're never going to get used to them if you keep them away from what they're afraid of or something. So the idea behind just stay comfortable and avoid challenging situations. So now I'm coming from a place of a lot of experience with horses and riding, so I would, if I'm training a horse, okay, I would, you border, say, you have to give them a little bit of a push, okay, just a little bit of a stretch, okay, out of their comfort zone in order to get them at a higher level. That's kind of what any kind of coach or trainer is not just going to tell you, hey, stay in your comfort zone. Don't do anything challenging, because if you do that, you're not going to get it to the higher level. So say your horse is a comfortable at like a 5, I might push them to like a 6 just to expose it to them. But so I would not, if you're trying to give the best and safest advice, you would just say, yeah, go stay in your comfort zone. Don't stay in the comfort zone, avoid uncomfortable situations for the horse and the rider. I mean, yeah, but so it is a little more risky when you start stretching and pushing more, when you start, but you only want like a little bit of a stretch, okay? So if you stretch too much, then you stretch a muscle too much, it could tear or break. Some things can, you push them too much, then you can have a wreck, something bad. So yeah, it is safer to just stay in a comfort zone of horses and riders. Okay, that's probably like the safest thing. But I'm not advising anyone to go push or stretch, horses, because that could be dangerous. But there's risk in everything that you do. Okay, everything you do is risky. So yeah, it's not safe to train horses. It's not safe to train horses. It's not really safe to ride horses. So okay, well, at least there's risk. Okay, there is risk involved with everything. Okay, so we're gonna talk about numbers here. I got a quote here from a recent farm and ranch health and safety survey completed by Central States Center for Ag Safety and Health. They found livestock related injuries, including horse and rider events, up to 26% of all accidents, more than tractor, machinery, and ATV incidents combined. So that is probably true. But for me, I've never had an injury based off of a horse in riding. Okay, so, but the way I do it, things are probably a lot different than the most people do things. I would prefer to train a horse that is, a young horse and raise it. And if it was completely trained by me, it's not going to have the problem with taking other horses that people have trained or tried to train is that they've probably screwed them up. They've probably messed them up. So my method is I train my own horses, and so where they don't have bad habits, bad experiences. So everything you do though can relate and be traced to like safety and preventing injuries as far as how you tie the horse, how you load a horse in a trailer, unload a horse, where the facilities, the equipment, especially the horse, like the equipment that you use for horses, is it old? Is it gonna break? How you select the horse? Okay, so that I already kind of talked about that. I don't really want to. It's a little more dangerous for me to take a horse that someone's probably messed up and has problems than me getting like a clean slate on a horse that hasn't been touched by anybody and me train it myself. But there's all kinds of ways that you reduce safety of how you train the horse, what kind of knowledge and experiences the rider have, you know, all kinds of drills and exercises I would do for a horse before I get on it to make it not as dangerous, a lot safer. That kind of goes into the training of a horse. All right, another quote from Kathy Anderson, a horse specialist in the University of Nebraska, says, "Horses are diverse, some quiet, some spooky, some old, some young. It's not as simple as good or bad. It just takes some time to become comfortable with the work." So, all right, here's one of the problems that people are probably getting injured. The highest rate on horses of 26% is because it says some horses are diverse, some quiet, some spooky. So if people are riding spooky horses doing ranch work, that's not smart. I would before I would get on a horse, I would desensitize it to a lot of different things, trying to get like the spook mindset, the run away from things mindset out of the horse. And also, I mean, part of my method is that I also know how to handle if a horse spooks. Some people, they'll bail. They'll jump off of a horse that's running full speed because it's scared or it's spooked, So most people, I have videos. I could do videos on how to desensitize your horse, how to handle all of these kind of problems, which I'm going to get into. They're hard to do on the mic. I won't be able to do them on the mic, but I will come out with videos on how to do, desensitizing properly and what happens if your horse spooks. And Kathy Anderson has another quote. Kathy Anderson says, "The rider is the other factor. Experience allows more understanding of young or nervous mounts. An inexperienced rider on an inexperienced horse is not a smart combination. Sometimes the horse must help the rider, and sometimes the rider must help the horse. It depends on the situation." Yeah. Yeah, well, of course the rider is the other factor. And again, experience allows understanding of young or nervous mounts. You shouldn't be riding nervous mounts. Like, even an experienced rider should not be taking a nervous or spooky mount really doing anything. Like, they have training they need to do on the ground. They have groundwork training to do before you try getting on them and doing ranch work. So obviously people are not making smart decisions when it comes to this, and that's why there could be 26% of all accidents are horse and rider related, is because people really aren't doing things properly. So then again, anything you do with horses, no matter if you keep them in their safe, comfortable zone or you give them a little stretch, everything is risky. Everything can be Anything could, everything is risky. So that's all I've got on this video for minimizing horse and rider injuries. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.